Hey, this is President Ronnie Hawkins here doing my first podcast at Angelo State University, meeting up with the producer here. What's your name again, Brian?
My name is Brian Moeller.
Okay, Brian, it's good to see you. I can't see you yet. Now I can.
Yes, sir.
This is rich for me because it's my first time ever having done a podcast. I've done a lot of town halls here at Angelo State University, but one of the things that I wanted to do was be able to reach out to the student body, the student population, and talk to them, and more importantly, get feedback from them. So this is one of the ways I thought of doing that. Usually I do a lot of things in email, and I'm recognizing that there's a lot of the student body that doesn't even read any email, or at least when we're told that they've been talked to by their professor, they say, I don't do email. So that's either a cop-out or it's one of those things that's true. So now we're going to try to get with you a podcast and see if we can take you. Say that again?
I must confess, most of the emails I read the headline, I read like the subject line.
That's it?
And if it's not important, I don't read the rest.
So what you're telling me then is that we need to put on the subject line, you're in trouble, and then you'll be able to read that part and maybe read the rest of the email?
Urgent action required.
That's how we do that.
And then it's like there's a Valentine's Day event in the UC.
Okay, so the student is teaching the teacher how to make sure we get those things read is what you're saying.
In some ways, yes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started
Yes, sir.
on this podcast here. We've got a host of people. I really do think you ought to put that camera on them so they can see what's going on there to really show what we have going on. We've got
we might have to show the peanut
Dr.
gallery.
B. He's okay. We're told no. So we'll start up with this. We got Caleb from the SGA that's here sitting in for the president. Her name is what, Caleb? I'm sorry here.
Yeah, Kiana Ortiz.
Okay, so what is it that you all do? I mean, you're with the SGA. How does that function?
Yeah. So let me read a statement that she had.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she couldn't be here. She had student teaching. I like to share that SGA is here to support student life and serve as the voice on behalf of students. We work to advocate for their needs and strengthen the RAM family experience. I would also love for the podcast to highlight the RAM Family Scholarship, as it's an important initiative shared by students. I'm sorry, can I redo that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. From the beginning or just from that sentence? Doesn't matter.
Take it from the beginning.
Okay. I'd like to share that SGA is here to support student life and serve as the voice on behalf of students. We work to advocate for their needs and strengthen the RAM family experience. I would also love for the podcast to highlight the RAM Family Scholarship, as it's an important initiative started by students for students that expands community opportunities and supports future RAMs.
You know, that's a pretty good statement that Kiana wrote there, and more importantly that you read. When you start looking at some of the things that she pointed out there, what is this about the RAM scholarship? What is going on with that?
Yeah, so it's a student endowment. The funds come from the community 100%. Last semester we had, of course, the Christmas tree lighting. We raised, I think we broke our goal.
Okay.
And it's just an endowment that we give out as student government to students. I think last semester we gave out, I want to say 6 $500 scholarships. Wow. I could be wrong on that, but it's, we always, of course, we want to give out as much as we can, but it's only so much that we can raise. So it's
okay. How do you raise the money? How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so we have fundraisers. Of course, our main thing, like I mentioned, is the Christmas tree lighting. Just from students, from faculty. I know you yourself match usually what we raise.
Yeah, I foolishly did that a couple of years ago and got stuck with a big bill there.
Yeah,
that's all good.
But it's always growing. We always get. It's like I said, it's an endowment. So every year we're able to give out more and more to more and more students, as well as more financially. And it's always a great thing to see them come up on stage and receive the money, because any amount of money is.
So when do you hand it out? Do you hand it out during the Christmas tree lighting, or is there another event that you do to give the money out?
Yeah. So this semester we're hosting our Rammies, which is
right.
Yeah. Okay. All student organizations are invited. If you're interested, it's a lot of fun. Free food. We hand out awards for various different organizations and student leaders. But at the very end, we announce our RAM Family Scholarship students. We don't have an amount or how many we're giving out yet. That's to be decided by our commission we set up. But based on the numbers, the amount of money we raised last semester, it'll be quite substantial, I think.
That's fantastic. Yeah. That is fantastic. What other things are you interested in? Are there other capabilities that we have here at ASU that spark your I would say tweak your interest?
What do you mean, like student government?
In student government, let's just say the Ram Pantry.
Okay.
What about the Ram Pantry? Is something good about that?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Ram Pantry. Whenever we do fundraisers, I like to donate. That's my number one goal is, hey, let's raise food for the Ram Pantry.
Why do you do that? What is it about the Ram Pantry that's so special?
I mean, for us, I've met a lot of other student government leaders across the country, and one thing I noticed, I just assumed it was something that all schools had, but after talking with them, it's actually quite unique, the size of the Ram Pantry that we have, because some schools don't have any, even like Ivy League schools, they might not even have a pantry set up.
Sure.
Some schools just have like a shelf, but we have a whole closet, and it's from what I can tell, it's one of the bigger ones we've had, or that any university has across the country. It's just really awesome just for the size of our school.
Yeah, I think so. I've seen that and heard the same thing from the presidents that I run into, and the other organizations and entities across the country, not just at ASU, but across the country, when we talk about what we have in the Ram Pantry, how it is that everybody's able to do it. And more importantly, I would tell you, when I was at school at Angelo State University, we didn't think about what it's tied to, the Ram Pantry, and that being food insecurity. Most people my age during that time frame, we kind of sort of hid behind the fact that we weren't eating enough. We didn't have enough money to get what was needed for us. And so one of the things that we want to eliminate with the Ram Pantry is, and I think that stigma that students might have that they're the only person that it affects. Would you say that's one of the things that is important for it? Yeah,
for sure. I think people view it as like sort of, maybe I'm financially insecure and I need money, and they kind of get, they feel shameful of that. But right. I mean, if you view it more as like a, just something you can go in and grab a snack with, because I know there's a lot of departments that have they set aside money just for snacks and stuff. Right. So, I use it personally for the business office. I go in and I'll grab a bag of chips or something, and so you can do that as well as a Ram Pantry. If you don't need a whole can of soup or something, but you need, I'm hungry, I'll just go grab a snack.
Certainly. Where's it located? Where's the Ram Pantry located?
Yeah, so it's in the Multicultural Center and the UC. If you kind of going into Chick-fil-A, it's going to be kind of to the right. It's kind of that big open area.
So you've given an advertisement for Chick-fil-A. What else is around there so that we can highlight them as well? We have Starbucks in here.
Yeah, we do. We have a Subway, a Starbucks.
Subway as well. Yeah. What's this deal with the mac and cheese place? I see a lot of folks crowded around that. Have you seen that before?
I'm not too sure. No, I don't really eat on campus.
Dude, you need to stop by there and get some mac and cheese. Okay. Everybody needs that type of protein.
Okay.
and just put it that way. So look
Mac
forward to
and
that
cheese.
For sure. What else is what were you saying, man?
The mac and cheese is very popular in the radio station.
Okay, all right. Well, I would think so.
I believe we had a mac and cheese club open last semester, and so I guess they're big fans of that too.
They should be a big fan of it. That students do that, and there's something else. Our son, when he was going, you crunch something up and put hot water in it. I forgot what that's called. Do you have any idea, Brian, what we're talking about there with the noodles in it?
Oh, like ramen?
Yeah, ramen. So that's one of the favorites. That you put the meat into that and put a little hot sauce on it, and hey, that's cool.
An egg, perhaps?
I've heard of the egg before too, so that's a good way to get some nourishment. Hey, talk about some of the other things that are going on with SGA, some of the things that you've done.
Yeah, so just recently, I guess the most recent things we've been working on is maybe you've noticed the little bus shelters around
I remember,
Centennial and Plaza. A previous president it was his initiative. I can't remember specifically who, but it was a few years ago, and Kiana found it and said, "Wait, why don't we do this?" Oh. So of course we took it to you, and you were like, "Absolutely!" And over the summer, we come back and it's already up. I'm like, "Whoa, that was super fast."
Well, I got to tell you, there's a lot of support from it.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I'm wearing a shirt right now, and I try to do that on Fridays that represent other institutions here on the campus. And by the way, I'll do a shout out right now. If there's somebody that wants me to wear their shirt on this Friday and get that advertisement going on, that's how you can get that done. XXL is what I'm talking about, the size of it, Brian, in case somebody calls you about that, you know what to say for
Absolutely.
them. That's for sure. But anyway, that was done because as soon as you brought that up to me, I went down to Miss Angie Wright, who's our vice president for all things with the facilities and the like, and she was all ready to get all over it. And so Cody, Gwynn, and all of the people that put that together, I got to give them their props for what it was that they did and how fast, like you were saying, they made that happen. I know I was over there by Plaza Verde just yesterday, and you saw a lot of folks just sitting in there, because initially we were going to make it a little cracker box, if you can remember. And we expanded that, and that was all done by Miss Angie Wright. Okay. She decided to do that. What else are you thinking about doing?
A big issue for us this semester, kind of related to the Ram Pantry, I guess, is food policy. You know, I don't know if you've been to Chick-fil-A around lunchtime, but the wait times can be kind of long, and I've gotten a lot of complaints from students. But just in general, you know, students always want better food, so that's a focus this semester, is trying to just improve the access to food, and also the quality and kind of variety of food on campus. Yeah.
Well, I will make it a point from my own perspective to get in there and try to look and see what's going on during the lunchtime. And of course, that lunchtime period is rather long. Yeah. But we'll see what we can do to make that happen. And I would encourage the students through the SGA or however they want to do it. If there's things that they need to or they want to see that improve here on the campus, let us know about them, and we'll start to work them. Yeah,
and that's our big thing is I'm very active on campus. I'm here, unfortunately, all day, and it's get quite tired.
Wait a minute. You're a student.
Yeah.
Campus life is something that you're supposed to be doing. Why do you say unfortunately?
Oh, I just get tired. I mean, I enjoy it, but you know, being here I get here at 8 a.m. and I leave at, you know, maybe 9 p.m. and I'm the only car left in the parking lot. I'm like, you know.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, so I'm here a lot, and I hear a lot of student complaints, and that's great, but I don't meet all those students, right? I'm a political science major, so I'm stuck in the Rassman all day. But I don't hear from nursing students. I don't hear from engineering students, or education majors. So it's something that I hope to get SGA more active on campus, so that students can feel comfortable coming up to us and saying, you know, hey, I have this problem. And we recently on our webpage, we have a student complaint form. So if you go to the bottom of our student government page, you can enter in, hey, do you have a problem on campus? It gets sent to our email, and we can email you back and get that addressed.
Okay. Well, any avenue that we can to try to address the needs of the students is important to us. Yeah. So feel free to, once you receive them, to forward them on to Dr. Lyon or myself, and we'll start to work them for sure.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm quite fortunate of is again, speaking to other student government leaders, is sometimes their administration is resistant. You know, they don't like student government, you know, coming in and asking them to fix stuff, but y'all have been super supportive. I don't think y'all have ever kind of told us, you know, hey, you know,
not to your face.
Yeah.
One of those deals,
but no, y'all have been super supportive in any initiative or problem we've had. Y'all have been very adamant on getting that fixed, and that's something I'm grateful for, that we don't have to, you know, fight every level of, you know,
bureaucracy. I know what you're saying there. Yeah. But that's part of the Ram fam.
Yeah,
that's who we are and why it is that we do that. Yeah. And it's not just myself or Dr. Lyon or whomever. It's just that's our culture. Yeah. It's in our DNA. So it's something that we want to do, and this is one of the ways that we can express that and get that word out. Yeah. But remember, it's an XXL shirt that you need to give me in order to wear that if we got that.
Well, I think that is kind of what we hear, at least here at Ram Radio.
Oh, so you're clear on it, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good.
We'll keep that in mind when we order shirts too.
For the show was to really highlight like the Ram fam and ASU like as a family, and I think especially with the stuff like Ram Pantry and student government trying to be more involved, it makes me happy that we are on a campus where we can do that.
That's good, and well, I'm truthful. I did say we listen to you while you're in there, but seriously, when you bring us something, we want to try to work it, and we'll get after it pretty quickly. So I know you had something with the bike lane or something that you were also trying to get done.
Yeah, so that was brought to our attention by a couple of senators who passed a bill, and they wanted more accessibility for electric scooters and bikes, and so we brought that to you. I believe it was over the summer.
Right.
And you were like, okay, well, let's not make this just a campus issue. Let's just add bike lanes all around ASU in the city. And I was like, oh, wow, that was much bigger than what we were expecting, right?
Sure.
And so we've been, I believe, I don't know if you have any updates, but we've been working with you on that for quite a while.
Yeah, I can tell you we are working with the city, and it looks like it'll be the end part, if you will, walking into the summertime before you'll start seeing those bike lanes appear around Angelo State University. They will probably be completed by the fall time when it's all said and done. Of course, we're getting ready to have construction down Avenue N, so that won't be a part of that, but we're going to try to have as much of it done by the fall when you come in.
Oh, awesome.
And so that's one of the things that we do, and listening to you and making sure that we do the things that are needed by the students, because we don't see those things. But we got about 10, 15 more seconds before we have to go off. Anything you want to add to that? Get ready to go.
Yeah, I know one of the statements here says, what other resources that students could use. And I think I can't give anything specific because, of course, every student needs something else. But just start talking to your professors or faculty or admin. I know people get kind of scared. I'm a tutor for history, and some students get nervous emailing the professors. But truly, I think they're there for you, and they're not going to get mad if you don't know something or kind of come in with what you think is a dumb question. And it helps you out so much just walking into an office and saying, hey, can I talk about this issue, even if it's not related to class. I think just using your resources you have on campus is the best.
Caleb,
advice.
thanks for coming and being a part of this first of many podcasts, hopefully, that we have, and look forward to helping you as you make it through Angelo State University and what you do in the student government. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a little 2-minute break.
Cool.
And then we'll have Miss Mayer.
It's Meyer.
Meyer. I'm so sorry. We'll have Miss Meyer.
Just say Madonna and you'll be okay.
Yes.
Okay, this is President Hawkins again coming forward in our first podcast that we have here at Angelo State University. And the second guest that we do have is none other than Miss Jamie Meyer. She's the Vice President for External Affairs. What's that all about, Jamie?
Well, yeah, first I want to say thank you for being one of the inaugural guests for this podcast. Yes. I think this is really exciting for ASU, our students, our alumni, and our community. So kudos to your vision and the team, Ram Rodeo team, for putting this together. So excited. But moving on to external affairs, my role and division's role is kind of everything having to do outside of the university. How do we build partnerships and find opportunities for our students, from our alumni, community, businesses, recruiting students to Angelo State. Just how can we support our campus from the faculty and staff and students with the external audience is the goal that we play.
So the bottom line is you're very busy.
Well, yes, we like to be busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a call sign or anything when you? I'm from the military, so usually you have a call sign, and I've heard one of the call signs for you is Madonna. So I don't know if that's true or not, and I don't know where it came from. But what's that all about?
Yeah, no, I don't have a call sign, but I think we could work on Madonna and see if we can make that stick.
We'll see if it'll stick there. Speaking of that, the things sticking, we have something that we're approaching our centennial. And there's something that you are helping to lead. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Absolutely. Excited to talk about that. It's our Leading the Charge capital campaign that we launched just a couple years ago. I think the vision started with you, President Hawkins. I remember when you first stepped on campus, you said, when are we going to launch a capital campaign?
Sure.
And you wanted to get this done. It was, I think, in your top 6 things that you wanted to do. So we started building that strategy out, and took some time visiting with campus leaders, shareholders, internally and externally, to build out what that campaign would look like. We launched the public phase of raising $128 million by the time we reach 2028 and celebrate that 100-year university. We're doing well so far.
Do you think we're going to make it?
Absolutely, we're going to make it. There's no ifs, right?
I would hope so. Hope so.
Today,
what if we do?
What if we do? Well, we know you, and we're going to keep raising that goal. And we raise the goal to raise support for our students and our campus. We're never going to quit raising money for these awesome students that we have earning a degree right here at our beloved university. So absolutely, we're going to get to our goal. I think we maybe have a good chance to get to the goal a little bit early. We're sitting at about $118 million today on this Friday, right before Valentine's Day. Yeah, there's a lot of love coming to this university and its students. So, but yes, we'll get to that $128 million. But then we're going to keep raising money. We have a super stretch goal of $178 million.
All right.
That's going to take a lot of work, and we're going to need a lot of love to get there to that number, but we're certainly going to strive to do it. So,
all right.
Yeah.
What else what do you think you're going to be able to do with that amount of money here? I know you said it's for the students and all, but give us an idea what we're talking about that could happen
Well,
there.
I think one of the things people may not realize, but is that donors can direct the dollars where they want them to go. And about 94% of our gifts, so a majority of the gifts through the campaign, they are donor restricted, meaning the donors have decided where they want it to go. So they go all over this campus, from engineering to basketball to soccer, to the cattle show, Shelley New Cattle Show program, to the aviation. That earlier was mentioned, the RAM student scholarship endowment.
Right. Okay.
One of I think the important things too is that we look at endowments, and through this campaign, one of the success stories is that we have been able to increase the number of endowments that we have. We've established 60 new endowments through the Leading the Charge campaign, which I think that's really
impressive.
significant. 40 of those endowments itself go straight to students through scholarship support.
Okay.
So we're able to, we're very fortunate that we have that distinguished scholarship here that's funded through the Carr Endowment.
Yes.
But we have over 400 other scholarships, privately supported scholarships, supporting our students. So that's huge. We want our students to succeed, and the affordability is so important.
Well, when you say scholarships, I know Caleb was talking about the RAM scholarship that we have that's given out to the students there, but how much do we give out in scholarships? Do you have a figure, ballpark figure, in a year's time frame?
Well, I'll give you the total. The total biggest number is between financial aid and scholarship dollars. So there's grant dollars in there as well. You're looking at about $75 million on an annual basis that we hand out. So very significant. I think 89% of our student body receives some type of scholarship, financial aid, grant support somehow, some way. So it's really tremendous. I don't think that many schools can say that like we can. So proud to be a part of that RAM fam culture and helping our students achieve a degree with limited debt when they walk across the stage.
One of the things that we do at graduation is I ask everybody, a certain group, a cohort of people to stand up, and one of them is how many people are graduating debt-free. Where are we at with that? I know you have started that. Where are we at with that now?
Right, we're right about that. 50% of our students graduate debt-free.
That is great.
The number that we're at there.
That is great. Yeah. Is there any target that you're shooting for? By chance?
Just as we don't have an exact number that we're shooting for, but as long as that number keeps going
growing?
up, keeps going up. Yeah, sky's the limit there, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
You talked about the endowments before, and one of the things that we wanted to talk about, who can give to how do you get all of these contributions when you talk about leading the charge?
Right, that's a great question, and I appreciate you asking, President Hawkins, but the answer is anyone can give.
Oh, okay.
Anyone can give to our capital campaign, and we do have a lot of support. Alumni, of course, are a big resource for this capital campaign, but our community has been significant as well and have given to us. We also have lots of businesses. We have a lot of corporate sponsors that have given to us. We also have about 200 of our faculty and staff that give back to this campus as well. We're currently right now going through a faculty and staff campaign here on campus as a part of an element of the Leading the Charge capital campaign. So we're excited to see about that success. Lots of different ways that people can give back too. One element that people don't think a lot about is planned giving through their estate.
Right.
If they can't give right now, they can do that. They can give stocks. You can you can give property. Lots of different ways that people can give and get involved. Gift in kinds are an option as well. But that's why we have the Development and Alumni Relations Office, is to help people talk about how they want to give, what they want to do, and how can we help them to get there. You can make a gift today if you want to, but you can also plan that gift out where it's on, a monthly gift, yearly gift, lots of different ways.
Isn't that how we got the bell tower out here, the Housley bell tower of sorts, if you will?
Right. That was a gift from Miss Mona Housley, and that was a multi-year gift that we worked with them in order to get that done. But absolutely, a lot of our major construction projects are on multi-year giving cycles.
That you bring that up in multi-years and the construction cycle, and in fact, as you walk down the mall, you see the tower. If you keep walking down towards Centennial Village, you're going to see the Stevens Chapel. What's that all about? Same thing?
Right. The Stevens Chapel was from the Stevens family, Pollyanna and Steve, which are dear friends of yours,
yes.
and they have been so generous to the university in lots of different areas. But that project was something that was very near and dear to their heart. We're very fortunate that they were able to pay for that in its entirety and funded the complete project. And then we do have, the stained glass in the pews, which we do still have some availability there if anybody's interested. And we've got if anybody wants their name on a pew, we've still got a few pews available. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. The chapel is special to me in a lot of different ways. One of them is I used to be at the Air Force Academy, and they had the Air Force Academy chapel there. And there were 2 times that you always saw cadets in that chapel. One was before finals, and the other one was during midterm. And I don't know, Brian, do we have the same thing going on here in the chapel? What do you know?
It's the chapel, or they've been cooped up in the library for 6
Okay,
hours.
or either one of those 2
Yes,
things,
sir.
huh? So you pulling an all-nighter to get ready for that, or what?
Yeah, sometimes, unfortunately.
Okay,
If I kick the can a little too far down the
a
road.
little too far,
Yeah.
and then you got to catch up.
Yeah, it's that or go pray.
Okay, that's what's done in the chapel, so we'll be able to get all those things done. Hey, Jamie, one other thing: how do people are they able to ask questions somewhere or another if it comes to giving, especially with the leading the charge or whatever? Or do we have a frequently asked questions
Yeah,
area?
so I mean, we've got some information up on the website. There's an F&A and Q section that our development, alumni relations, communications, and marketing help put together. But I'll tell you, we'll never get all those questions up on that website.
Right.
So we encourage people to visit with our development team on different ideas, thoughts, questions that they have. And you can never start too early asking questions and getting those thoughts of how can you make an impact. And the one message that I want to leave today is that every gift matters. It doesn't matter.
Sure,
The size is not what's important. It's the amount of gifts that we received. And every gift makes a difference here at Angelo State. And it's so very important. So.
Well, we appreciate your time. Anything else before you jump off that you'd want to talk about here?
Man, I just want to say thank you, and thank you to those that do give to the university.
Sure.
Our alumni base is so crucial and so important to us, and we're so very proud. Our alumni are one of our biggest assets that we have. And it's not just about the money either. I mean, there's ways to give back, opportunities to our students through internships, opportunities looking at their companies, their businesses, or mentorship. So just getting involved, keeping alumni coming back to campus and getting them involved to support the next generation of RAM and RAM Bells is important. So,
well, one of the things I want to bring up before you get off, and we've said alumni a lot, and one of the things I want to be doing with the students that are here right now is get them to appreciate and understand what it means to be an alum or a part of the alumni association. How do they go about doing that? When it's time for them to graduate, or even before, how do they get involved with the Alumni Association?
Yeah, well, we try to make sure that our students here today are aware of the Alumni Association and what it does. And we've got several different events that we do. I'll start with, I think the biggest and best one is Ram Jam.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Ram Jam? But our Alumni Association was instrumental in making that happen and putting that on every year.
Right.
And so we try to stay in front of our students and make sure they're aware. And then the minute before they graduate, we have that senior send-off event before graduation. And then at graduation, we're there. And then we try to stay in contact with them the minute they walk across that stage to keep them connected.
All right. Well, appreciate your time. Appreciate what you do, and appreciate, more importantly, how you got us moving forward in this Leading the Charge campaign. It is important to all of us here at Angelo State University, particularly the students, but also the alumni. So let's make sure we continue on that process and make sure we pass that goal of, what'd you say, 178 million?
Right.
Or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're 2 years away from that. And as a matter of fact, when you start talking about 2 years away, Brian, we're really short of time here. So I appreciate what you've let us do here to get us where we're at right now, and more importantly, where we're going to be in the future. When are we going to do this? When is it going to air? How do people get to hear about this?
It'll probably air a couple days from when we're recording it. Sometime February 17th, 18th, around then. As far as where you can see us, we've got our YouTube channel. That's a really big deal for us. It's part of where we're pushing. So the more you guys can go and like it, comment on it, please talk about the podcast in the comments. We love when people do that.
Right.
That's the biggest thing for us. We'll leave all our socials in the show notes when we do post. So.
We appreciate you and what you've done to get us where we're at right now. And we look forward to doing this more than not. And
Yes,
you tell me when the next time is, and we'll get some more guests in here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Miss Madonna. No, it's Jamie Meyer. But we appreciate you for coming and being a part of this. And then Caleb, we appreciate you also for coming and being a part of our first inaugural President's podcast.